Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so sorry that um I haven't been posting like in a very, very long time. But it's necessary that we all take these breaks from time to time. And okay, so for those of us that are following me on the common apps section, I feel like a lot of us have actually, you know, gone way ahead of the last video that I posted, which was basically how to create your account and the dashboard. So today I'm just going to go straight to the mycology section, talk about that. Then in this same video, I'm going to go into the common app section and start with the profile section. And I'm just going to breeze through and answer questions that I feel like a lot of people always ask me. I've been seeing the comments on that the last video, which was about opening up the common app account by yourself. And so many questions have been about the testing section, the school section. And so more videos will be coming up on that this week. So I apologize in advance if like the videos are, coming in back to back to back. But this is the time that I'm able to release or record or edit all of these videos. So typically your dashboard might not look like what my dashboard looks like because I haven't had called hate factor because I haven't added any of those schools or any school to be honest. And that's not to say that when I begin to add schools that you guys should now add the schools that I add. I'm just trying to like give you guys a glimpse of what your common app should look like or could look like or might look like. This is my college section. You can see I haven't added any colleges. So we're gonna go straight to common app and we're in the we have approximately approximately six sections to go through. But for some people, some of the schools they pick would have these courses and grades, and I would go through that. You can see here that I said zero colleges require. So if your school or two schools or even if all of your schools require this, then you would see the number of colleges that require that. And another feature is that you're able to preview based on whatever it is that you choose. Like I was saying, I'm not too sure if I've mentioned it on this YouTube channel or with the students that I was coaching privately. So the red asterisk typically means that, or basically just means that it is compulsory. You cannot skip that question. Whatever question doesn't have that asterisk is basically optional. But for a lot of people, I feel like we always want to, answer all the questions. But please only answer the things that apply to you. It's not a crime if you can't answer all of the questions as somebody asked in the comment section. I'm going to try to be addressing some of the questions that are coming up in the comment section so that everybody understands or everybody um is able to ask more questions as the videos are coming up, and I try my best as much as possible and I try as much as possible to reply to these questions. um your first name, please make sure that at this point in time, as I mentioned in my last video, you should have a book. If you don't have a book, that's not a problem, right? Just make sure that you're writing these things down or you're keeping record of them. Your first name on here should be the first name on your passport, or the first name on your passport should be your first name here, because for a lot of us, including me, when I started this process, I do not have my international passport yet. So um there's some things that would change, right? So when if you don't have your international passport yet, you're still doing a common app, which is not a bad thing, it's not a problem. Just make sure that when you go to the passport office, the name here is the name that is going to be there in the same order, guys. So your legal first name, put that in. Please don't really mind like whatever you see here. This is just like a prototype. So whatever name I put here or whatever response I put here is a prototype. And so you would answer according to what applies to you, basically. So would you like to share a different first name that people call you? Please, this is very important because um if you put yes, that particular so if I was to put yes, you would see here that my first name here also becomes compulsory or required. And once you put that in, right, guys, at the end of the day, this name here, so for somebody now that your name is Ayobami, right, and you put it here as your legal first name, which is my name, if I put here that there's a different name that people call me, because especially in Nigeria, if your name is Ayo blah blah blah, your nickname will most likely be Ayo or Bami or whatever people call you, or Bam Bam. And so if I put my name here and I put Ayo, for me, I put Ayo here, thinking like, oh, if you can't pronounce Ayobami, you should be able to pronounce Ayo, right? Um, when I go to school, my ID card was saying Ayo Bakari instead of Ayobami Bakari. So it's not necessary. That's just an experience of mine. I don't know if other schools would, take that as the way my school did. But to just be on the safe side, you would put no, that you do not have a different first name that you want other people to call you. But when you speak with them like verbally, that's when you get on your school grounds, you can, or your college ground, you can obviously tell them, oh, if Ayobami is too hard for you to pronounce, you can call me Ayo. But some people actually take out the time or make an effort to pronounce my name correctly, not just pronouncing, but pronouncing correctly. And you guys see here that I put this last name. And so for some people, you are probably something the second, something the 10th. And so whatever applies to you, please put that in here. Do you have any materials under a formal legal name? So this is for mostly for people that um they're saying, for example, a maiden name, that means if you've been married. But if that doesn't apply to you, but you still have a change of name, please make sure to put yes, and then put your former first name, your last name. If you have a middle name that you want to put, please put it in. Like, totally up to you guys. Your date of birth is like I was saying. So there are some things that I would be saying that would help you understand some things about how the college system in the US runs. And so basically in the US, the date is basically month, day, and year. So even your assignments, your deadlines, all of those things will be month, day, and year. So if you see 7/7/2023, that is basically 7th of July. And if you see 6/7/2023, that is basically the 7th of June. So let's start getting used to it. So when you put your date of birth also, and so many dates that they'll be requiring you to put into, it will be month first. Excuse me. So this is the address. For a lot of us, whatever address you put in here, just make sure that that address is somewhere that you're even if you move from there, like if they send anything there, you're still able to get that particular thing. If you made a mistake with your address, you can do change. If you feel like, oh, I've moved from that place and I'm not going to be able to get any correspondence. When I say correspondence now, your I-20, I'm going to be explaining all of those documents. But if I start explaining now, it's going to defeat the purpose of me rushing through this profile section with you guys. Um, so here on, and then another thing that I wanted to say is that for some of you that have passed through this section, you can just go through the video to make sure that, okay, what I put here is correct, or address whatever it is, or ask any question. This is not to say, oh, now start all over again. No, 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 no. Number one, I'm not an island of information or knowledge. So there's some things that you would have researched and found out that I do not know, or that I am not privy to, or that did not mention on this video. So this is just me and my opinions and what I've put in my own application also. So you are totally at liberty to use them, not use them, or just have them, or just watch it for the fun of it, whichever one you decide to do. So you can choose to do remove. So if I do change, I'll, do country. This is just for people that are, you know, new to this. I'm just doing it for their sake. You can see, like for me now, my address is already saved. And so when you begin typing, it begins to bring out your address. For a lot of us that we are not on the map, you can see on here, like if you don't come up on the map, that's not a bad thing, right? I'm just gonna keep typing, like keep typing my address. And then if I keep typing my address, like I'm going to keep typing my full address. You can see on here that is bringing out Admosho, blah, 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 Lagos. But then like I need the full address to be here. I get to me, guys. And so when I do Lagos, uh, and that is that, I do continue. I'm just gonna drag this up a bit, and you should see address not found, or basically I don't see my address in this list. And then when you click that, that's for people that their address is not on this list. Some of us are living in places that are not on the map, and that's not a bad thing. But then you can now type in your address here, put everything you need to put. I'm just gonna put everything the way it should be. If you don't know your postal code, please go on Google. I feel like I already mentioned how to do that, but just go on Google and search for your address. So if I also search for my postal code now, it would be Baronje Ikotun postal code, basically like that. So it's not something that is hard to find, even though it might be wrong or anything. So yeah, but that's just how it is, guys. And sorry for that, I don't know why it would cut off like that. So guys, you can literally see here, like, this is my postal code, right? And so if I choose to, I'll put it there. If I don't want, like, you can see it's already saved, and that's because I had to do that because I applied to pretty much a lot of schools. And so if, like I was saying now, if you have if you're someone that you move around a lot, or you're somebody that you know that, okay, I'm not gonna be in this address by next year, by this, by that, blah 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 blah, you can tell them to send the mail to a temporary or alternate address, whichever one is. If you have anybody or any family member that lives in a stable address where any confidential information that is sent physically to you would get to you actually. um so for me, I'm gonna put no alternate address because that's our house. We're not going anywhere for now. And even if we were to go anywhere, like, we'll still get the things that we need. um okay, so for contact details now, for contact details, preferred phone number, you can put anything there. And so that's just what it looks like. So for me, I'm going to select that as my home phone number. For those of you, please make sure that whatever phone number you're putting here, like the first phone number, is your WhatsApp phone number. That's it. Let's go to demographics. So I'm still in the profile section right now, actually. All right. Demographics. Obviously, I'm a female. If you whatever gender you identify with, please put that accordingly. My legal sex would be female. The pronouns that I prefer would be she, her. For a lot of us that do not understand this, I don't really want to go into the nitty-gritty of explaining this, but the people on my private teaching group would understand what I mean by this. And I know that some of us have some of us have questions regarding the fact that they would want to join the private teaching group. I would be rolling out information as the spirit leads, if I'm going to hold another private teaching session for the coming session, the coming academic year, which is when, now that you start applying for the next academic year. I'll let you guys know. But for now, I feel like these videos will do, because basically the private teaching sessions is just you being able to talk to me via Zoom. It's a commitment of about 6 to 16 weeks. And so yeah, I'll let you guys know how it goes, or how as the spirit leads. But I will be rolling out formation. So please stay tuned to the community tab. And for those of us that do not really know or do not see the community tab, turn on your post notification. I will probably drop. Did I just say post notification? Jesus. I think that's the word though. But then what's the word? What did I want to say? But then I'll probably do a short video letting you guys know like where the form is, how to, get into the private teacher session. It's free, guys. So I'll let you guys know how each factor is a liar as the spirit leads. So here you'd have I'm a Black or African American, and I'm an African. So whatever demographics. So this is basically your demographics. So whatever applies to you, please choose that because I know like some it's not everybody that's an African that's watching this YouTube channel. So that's something that I'm very, very particular about. So the number of languages you're proficient in. For me, I'm proficient in 2 languages and I can read 3 languages. So for some of us, like for me, I'm just going to list it out in case you're like me. So basically English, Yoruba, and French, and I understand small Igbo for small. So I'm just gonna put 3 languages, right? Whatever number of languages you feel like you're proficient in. So for a lot of us, we did French in high school, and that's the level that we're proficient in. Please add that, okay? So for me, always make sure that English is like your first option, especially if you're from an English speaking country like Nigeria, that a lot of schools in the US don't really, really, really recognize as an English speaking country, just few of them. Most times to avoid you having to write TOEFL or IELTS, even though if the school requires it, you really cannot jump it except Nigeria is on the country exempt list or you write the test. Some of them they require it, why some of them are test optional. But just to be on the safe side, I always tell people to put English first. So it's my first language as a Nigerian. I speak English, I read English, I write English, and we speak English at home, right? And so the second language that I would be picking would be French. And basically, so for some people, it is Spanish. So French is not my first language. Are you seeing how I'm picking it? So I can speak a little bit of French, which is basically like when you're reading it, you can speak it. So I can read French and I can also write French. But we do not speak French at home. So you can see that so 2 languages cannot be your first language. Let's be very, very careful. I feel like a lot of people make that mistake. For me, Yoruba, officially English is our first language in Nigeria. So if you like we're speaking all the languages in Nigeria, English is your first language. Okay. So it's your official language. I don't, yeah, official language. So I speak Yoruba. I can read Yoruba. I can write Yoruba, and we speak Yoruba at home also. Yoruba. So for some people it's Igbo. So for some people it is Hausa. For some people I feel like it is what are the other I know there's over 300 or 600 languages in Nigeria. So yeah. So you guys can see like as I'm going forward, everything is ticking green except the contact details. So I'm going to go back and see what's wrong with my contact details. Why is it not ticking green? Which means that I'm done in that section. So you can see that even though I didn't answer all the questions in the subsections on that profile section, right? It is still picking up and turning it green. So when I say subsection, I'm talking about on that profile section, there's contact details, there's demographics, and like those are the subsections under each section. So if I ask you what subsection are you oh Jesus, if I ask you what subsection are you under the profile section, you can tell me I'm personal information, I'm in address, I'm in contact details, I'm in demographics. So I finished my demographics. It should be able to tick it green also. You can see that I went back to answer the question that was compulsory and it ticked it green. So if the question is not compulsory, it's not necessarily, it's still going to tick green even though you don't answer it. So how do I know the question is compulsory? I can see the red asterisk on all of those questions that I'm supposed to, answer. And all right, my birth country, you can see that it's not required, but I feel like it's better to answer the questions that you can answer and leave the ones that are not applicable to you or that you do not have an answer to. The number of years I've lived in the United States as a student, as an international student that is just coming in, right? Like for me, before I left to the US for school, I'd never gone to the US before, so that would be 0. If you know, okay, probably you've gone there for summer, blah blah blah, it will be like 1 year or less. You can see like the options there if you live there as a kid. So like everybody's answer is different. So you can't really, except people have the same like background story, which is like there's always going to be one difference or even a lot of difference. So this is the only compulsory question here that you can see. Citizenship status. Um, I'm a citizen of a non-US country. And for some of us, we're dual citizens. And so you can, pick all of those questions, pick all of those countries that you are a citizen to. So for me, I'm just a citizen of Nigeria for now, right? For now. Okay. So you can see here, if I want to add more countries, I'm still able to click and add more countries. So if you're a dual citizen, please do as you ought to do. Do you currently hold a valid US visa? Remember, I'm applying as a student who is just trying to come to the US to study. So as of now, I do not have a valid US visa because I have not even gotten my I-20. I'm still applying to my schools. Do you intend to apply for a new or different visa? Of course, yes, you do. You intend to do that. I'm sorry that this lighting just keeps bringing out different shades and different colors. I don't understand. But anyways, if you're coming to the US to school, you would be an F1 student. If you're coming to do something like vocational, that would be the M visa, right? But then so you can obviously pick the other visa type. But if you're coming to vocational school, I don't really think you should be using Common App. I don't really know much about that, but then I suppose. So this is you intend to be an F1 student, right? For some of you that probably your parents are schooled in the US also and you want to apply also, you would be an F2 the dependent of an F1 student. Then when you are accepted, your visa status will be changed from F2 to F1. I hope we're understanding what I'm saying. So we're coming to the part where I need a lot of us to, to focus, to what's that word? To just understand. So this is the last part of the profile section, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. So for most international students, all of these options do not apply to us except the last one, which is, I said for most now, which is that you can provide a supporting statement from a school official, college access counselor, financial aid officer, or a community leader. That's when you're eligible for common app fee waivers. If you know that your parents cannot afford to pay the application fee for any school whatsoever in the US. Number one, there's schools in the US that do not have application fee. But the thing is, let me just explain. A school might have application fee and might not have full funding. A school might have application fee and have full funding, and you want to apply to that school, probably just a school you really like. So you say yes, I do qualify for it, and then you'd have to. So automatically, your counselor would be able to put it in there that yes, you're struggling, your parents cannot afford it, you cannot afford it. So wherever you're asked to sign in this your college journey, I can't use my name because I used pseudonym to start up this application. So basically your full name will be here. So even if you are doing a college application, you would be asked for your full your signature. Your full name is the equivalent. This use Strive is something that I have not actually looked into, as at the time I was applying, use Strive was not an option on Common App. And for the set that I taught last year to come in this year for school, use Strive was solely for US or US citizens or permanent residents. So if you would like to do that, connect to them, please do. If at the end of the day they say, oh, it only applies to US citizens or permanent residents, there's no problem. And then if he applies to international students, obviously an advantage for you. And so I'm just going to click yes. And so that brings me to the end of my video. I hope you guys were able to enjoy this video. I hope it was informative, and I hope you guys are still able to carry along with me. So please make sure to put your questions in the comment section. So people have questions for me that are pretty personal, right? Um, I'm also gonna put my email here. So please, also if you're messaging me on Instagram and you're just saying hi, you will be there. Where hi, this is what I want to talk about, or this is blah blah blah. I need your help with this, or I just want to ask you about this, or like, okay, let's help ourselves. Let's be civil. Um, so the next section would be family. So for those of you that have questions about family, you should see a video tomorrow. Tomorrow is what? Thursday or Friday, right? I will try as much as possible to roll out these videos. Another thing is my posting schedule is not yet set in stone. So that's why I said turn on your post notifications so that you'll be aware whenever these videos come in or come up or come out. Horrible. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Hope you guys are fine. Thank you all so much for subscribing, for still watching the videos, for still asking questions, even though you've seen that I've been inactive for a very long time. I really do appreciate all of that. And I wish you all the very best in your academic journey. The Lord will favor you and make it successful for you. Bye, guys.